Good evening. Finally. Hello. I am sorry. I am having technical difficulties and not quite sure why. Um, my computer it keeps freezing. It keeps moving very slowly. So I don't even know if you guys can hear me at this point because on my end I'm frozen. So I have no idea what's going on with my service here, but I'm just gonna go with it, and hopefully everybody can still hear me and see me and all that good, fun, happy stuff. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Taryn, the host of Paranormal Brew. Um, thank you for being here. Tonight, I want to talk more about true crime and about the paranormal. So there's several things like I want to touch on. Um, a couple weeks ago, I had Stevie from Truth or Demons podcast on, and we talked about the Mackenzie Shirilla case and how she all of a sudden, it's becoming a paranormal thing there. She even used the words, the devil made me do it. She said an unseen force pushed on her leg to push the gas pedal. Hi, language doc. Thanks for joining me. Thank you. My laptop keeps on freeze. My internet keeps on freeze. I don't even know what's going on with it. But anyway, so yes, thank you for that. So a couple weeks ago we talked about that, and then so I still want to dive into this because there was another case that was a little bit more involved with the paranormal and true crime. And if you're not familiar with the story, it's a very sad story. A gentleman named Christopher Watts killed his wife, who I believe was pregnant, and two daughters. And it was a very tragic story. I mean, when you watch documentaries about it and this and that, there really there wasn't any issues except for, the wife felt like she wasn't getting enough, intimacy and attention. And what was because Chris had a girlfriend. But still would lead her on and, tell her everything was great, love you, whatever. Well, he winds up, murdering his whole entire family. Well, just like the Mackenzie Shirilla case, there was a body cam footage. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this, but there was body cam footage that came from that, that They were walking through the house, and I believe this was when he had reported them missing. So at this point, I don't think they knew they were dead. So they were searching the house for clues and this and that, and the police were in the house. They had canine in the house, and there were a few things. Some of them are a little far fetched, if you ask me. But there were a few things that happened while they were walking through, not only visually, but audibly as well. Much like what what we talked about with the Mackenzie Shirilla. There really wasn't a lot there. It was just that one alleged EVP. But I mean, in my opinion, I think it was just um, an added somebody faked it, I think. But regardless. So I want to share a video I found on YouTube that shows, we're going to watch it together, that shows the walkthrough of the Christopher Watts um um house, where the person is actually like pointing out, where these things are being seen and stuff like that. So I do want to share that, and we'll watch it together and talk about that. Um One thing I would like to say is that I've gotten a lot of subscribers in the last couple of days. Thank you so much for that. Um, I also want to start out by saying that I have to just get this off my chest. I usually don't talk about this kind of stuff, any type of personal drama or whatever that I have. Hi, Vic, love you. But So recently there's an event. There is an event that it is on the same subject as serial. I mean, not serial, as paranormal and true crime combined. But um, so there's an event that's happening, and they are headlining Arnie Johnson. And then for those that don't know who Arnie Johnson is a case that the Warrens had taken on. They claimed that he was possessed when he murdered someone. It was thrown out of court. And at that moment that it's thrown out of court, I just want to say that that's the paranormal connection to that stops once it's thrown out of court, and they deem, like, they say, no way, Jose. It stops there. You murdered somebody, unalive somebody. Sorry, YouTube. um that should be that. And a person like that shouldn't be making money or being glorified in the paranormal field. And that's my thoughts. I shared my opinions. I don't ever share this stuff on my pages. I just see that other people share it, and I comment on it. And for some reason, the host of that event and his wife decided to pick on me, and go after me because I feel that, headlining a convicted murderer for a paranormal convention or paranormal event is wrong. And I have that right. His wife private messaged me in a threatening matter. She says she wasn't threatening me, but you know, uh, she can say all she wants. I mean, the messages were different. And then was very condescending. And, if you can't accept criticism, then don't be in the public eye. That's all I'm saying. I don't care whose event it is. She went on to say, "Oh, I have heard about you and all these stories about you." I guarantee you the stories come from the very place that she's having the event, because they also, it's an orphanage, and there were children in this orphanage that were abused. And they were bringing the Annabelle doll there, which I thought was very distasteful to the alleged spirits that were supposedly um, in this building, which are children who were abused when they were alive at this orphanage. And I said, if you're bringing a doll that's supposedly possessed there, like, how ethical is that? Like, how could you do that to the alleged spirits that house there? So I'm sure she has heard some stories about me. I'm very honest. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to private message me, and I will definitely, definitely share whatever. With that being said, after we go through this Chris Watts video, I'm going back to Chris Watts again. I looked up some headlines, some news articles like throughout history, that involve the paranormal. Now, I won't be able to share the screen with you, but I will read like one or two of them, and we can talk about that. I find it fascinating when but there are some funny ones. Like recently, there's three off the top of my head that I can think of. Recently, a news channel um, did a story on a gentleman that claims that he has a Bigfoot. Um, it's ridiculous. But then there's another one, I'm sure people have heard about this one, where, hi, Joan, love you, where a leprechaun visits a town in Mobile, Alabama every year. That news broadcast was very funny. Um, and then what was the other one? There was another broadcast I said, it was the Bigfoot guy, the Mobile, Alabama, where the leprechaun supposedly comes. So, like, just because a news station, does a piece on it, does not mean that it is true. Um, so before I bring up, let's see, Dan. Hi, Dan. Love you, miss you. I wrote a song about Annabelle and Robert the Doll falling in love. God, I'm afraid of Robert the Doll, to be honest with you. Destination Spooky says I wrote that. I would watch that musical, Dan. Joan says I like love. I love Dan, by the way. Dan, I've known Dan since 2012, 2010. We used to be in the same ghost hunting group together. That's how we met. And yeah, I think he's living in Florida still, but I love when he pops on my show. I miss you. Um, Anyway, also here's the other crazy thing. I'm unable to go live on Facebook, so I did share this out to Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, you have to come to YouTube because that's the only way you'll be able to comment and stuff. I can't go live on Facebook because the Facebook bots. I shared a very heartfelt story about a judge who was very caring of a young um, witness to a crime, and they deemed that cybersecurity and banned me from going live. So YouTube's where it's at. So this is where we are. I did share, like I said, I did share it to Facebook. So hopefully anybody that clicks on the thing on Facebook, they'll just come to YouTube. Okay. Whoo. While I have you all here too, I want to say next week I have a guest. So you just don't have to put up with me. Next week, Adam Kimmel will be joining me, and he is pumped to share some stories. So I'm excited. He is excited, and just talking to him about it, it gets me excited. So I'm looking forward to having Adam on. I've been asking him for a while now, and he's like, all right, let's do it. I'm like, okay, good. So he's coming on. So next week should be good. Tomorrow is the start of the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, which I will be attending with my peaches. And we have an auction set up. We're auctioning off items. It's you pay for tickets. You put your tickets in there. It's not like a silent auction. You don't have to be present to win. There's some pretty cool stuff we're bringing this year. We bring cool stuff every year, but definitely come check out the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Is at the Eisenhower Convention Center in Gettysburg, and we'll be there Thursday to Sunday. It's going to be awesome. They have vendors inside and out. I think food trucks. It's going to be really, really fun. All right. Whoo! Hi, Yvette. All right. So let's start with the Chris Watts video. It's interesting. Some of the EVPs intrigue me. If anybody knows me, knows how much I love EVPs and knows I have an ear for them. You know what I mean? So some of these actually do intrigue me. Can I say for sure that they're definite EVPs? No. But at one point, the officers actually hear something audible, almost like a laugh. And it sounds like a little girl. Again, at this point, they're looking for clues. They're looking for anything. So if they thought they heard a little girl laugh, they could have thought, "Oh my god, one of the little girls are here." Right? Like, so they definitely react to that, but they don't react to um the rest of the things that occur. So I'm going to bring this up, and I don't know how to share the screen and stay on it. So I don't know if I'll see your comments, but I'll try to switch back and forth. I know you guys can still see me when I am not on here, but I can't see my screen. So bear with me because everything is taking forever here. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me see how this works. Like I said, my internet is lagging, so let me see. That's really small. I don't know. How do I make myself small and this bigger? Enable zoom. I don't know what this means. Allow while. Okay. This is at 100%. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. I'm trying to get it. Oh. Yeah, no. I'm trying to get it so that you guys, I can see your comments while we're watching. But all right, so here's the video that it's 11 minutes long. Oh wait, I got to go over here to get it. It's 11 minutes long. And let me know if you guys can hear it and see it okay.
Hey, New Jersey! Don't miss your chance at our Apple Live Cash Jackpots. With over $1 million paid out monthly, only on the Hollywood Casino app. New players get 300 bonus spins plus a...
And in tonight's episode...
So.
Hello guys, today we want to look at some recordings from the infamous Watts family home, which were taken by several officers' body cams as well as the county search team. If you are not familiar with the unbelievable story of the Watts case, go check out this video in the right top corner by Our World TV, who sums the whole story up quite nicely. This incident occurred on August 13th of 2018. Chris tried to cover the whole story up, but got caught by his neighbor's CCTV camera while he was about to dispose of the remains and other pieces of evidence that could tie him to this case as a suspect. It is believed that the search team, as well as different officers that were investigating the house, could pick up several unexplained sightings and EVPs. Some people believe them to be stemming from and featuring Shannon and her two daughters. The unit enters, and it doesn't take long for the person with the body cam to capture the first really unusual thing.
Okay, really quick. Is this okay, guys? Is this can you guys see everything okay? Just let me know really quick in the comments and then I'll continue. I just want to make sure you guys can see the actual the video. What's playing and you can hear it okay. Because let's see. Let me know. Let me know if anybody's watching. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna play it. So here we go.
Some people claim that one of the daughters can be seen up the stairs while the search team makes their entrance into the living room. Let's watch that again.
Smells like cleaning, doesn't it?
I can't say for certain if this is truly an apparition, but it is definitely possible. What do you think?
All right, hold on. Is this frozen or what? Like, what is happening? Okay, hold on. My God. I wish I knew how to do this. I'm so sorry. Maximize. Are you guys there? Is anybody there? All right. I don't know. I don't know if it's frozen or what. You guys will have to let me know because I don't know what's happening. I don't see any new comments and I don't know. I need a new laptop. I see it's playing now on YouTube, but I don't see any comments. Can you guys hear that? This is terrible. All right, I'm going to play it.
Followed by an unknown female voice saying no. Right after this capture, it appears that
So that's pretty cool. I mean, hearing that no like that, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't really fit with what is happening in there. So, you know, I don't know. Okay. Thank you, language doctor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that no sounds pretty crazy to me. Let me just rewind it a little bit and we'll listen to it again.
followed by an unknown female voice saying no. Right after this capture, it appears that Shannon can be seen in the mirror.
So
One could think that
I'm going to say, and I'm happy that this guy says this, King Frostmare. I'm happy he says this. He goes, this could be the investigator, which I believe that this is the investigator. It is not the, face or apparition of, you know, the wife at all. So I think it is just the police investigator.
that the apparition in the mirror is taking a picture with their iPhone. Ironically, Shannon owned an iPhone, which she had left in the house. But it could also be the officer's reflection. We can't be 100% certain here.
Her phone's here? Yeah. Her phone's here.
Does she work?
Yeah, she works from home.
Oh, from home?
She works This Is Her Lifeline.
Next, the two officers make it into a closet, which on further inspection appears to be a wardrobe in one of the bedrooms. Listen closely as a faint giggle is being captured in the background.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world was that?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world was that?
Wow.
Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came from.
Yeah.
So with this, I love this, that they're actually like trying to figure out where that came from. Like they were thinking like it's a toy or something like that, but they can never find the source of this. It's a little creepy if you ask me. Is it paranormal? I don't know, but it definitely, they heard it. This was an audible sound. So they were looking for the source of that sound. Again, they are still under the impression that they're just missing. Like they haven't found them yet. So they have no idea if, one could be hiding somewhere or, they have no idea, right? So they're just doing their jobs.
Sounded like a kid toy.
It sort of sounds like it.
The two officers clearly heard the laughing child as well, and now were looking for explanations of where this giggle could have originated from. But of course they had no idea.
You haven't seen the sun in days. So at this point, it'd be easier to just...
Something. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Where did that come from? Because all he did was go straight in there.
I just want to back it up a little bit. I want to hear it again because to me it was.
Oh my gosh. What in the world was that?
Wow.
Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came from.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It sort of sounds like it.
The two officers clearly heard the laughing child as well, and now were looking for explanations of where this giggle could have originated from. But of course they had no idea.
Something. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Where did that come from? Because all he did was go straight in there. That was strange, but we're making note of that.
I heard it. I definitely heard the same thing you did.
Yeah, and then he just sort of turned around and looked. But I didn't expect that.
Now what is pretty interesting is that Chris's mistress, called Nicole, left a pretty ominous voice message on his phone. I find it is super close to the giggles we just heard moments ago. Make of it what you want. Coincidence? Maybe.
Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi.
Although I can understand, can you guys hear me talking? Let me know if you can hear me talking because I just need to make sure of that while I'm sitting here. But I can see where they're saying that they sound similar, but it doesn't sound like the same laugh. I can see the similarities, but it doesn't sound like the same laugh. And where would it be coming from if it was something, you know what I mean? Like, why would her laugh just be in that room? Okay, thank you, Joni. Why would her laugh just be in that room? Sorry, I didn't mean to call you Joni. Joan. But, so I don't know. That one's a little bit, again, I'm not saying it's paranormal, but they never found a source. And I really honestly, even though her giggle sounds similar, it doesn't sound similar in the same sense, if that makes sense. Okay.
Let's listen to some more EVPs captured in this residence.
Yes.
Yeah. Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you guys hearing what they're pointing out? Uh, Joni loves touching. um, are you guys hearing what is happening? Like some of these sound, some of them sound like they're stretching, like the mommy, and the other ones, like to me, almost sound like it could be like the investigator breathing or something like that. But then like as they go into like the garage, like this is our home sounds a little EVP-ish. Um, it definitely, like there are some that yeah, the whispering sounds. Yeah, like there's some that I would say might be legit, but then there's other where I'm like, okay, that might be. I know. It's really crazy. If you guys don't mind, I just want to rewind it because it's like so much so fast. And my favorite thing is EVPs. So I love listening to this because it's really it's this is a difficult these are difficult for me to decipher. And so I just want to go back a couple of the let's go back here. Okay. Ready? Here we go.
Let's listen to some more EVPs captured in this residence.
Yes. Yes.
We'll hear the mommy. That one kind of like gets me a little, like you can hear the something told her, and then you hear this female moaning, but they don't react to it. Not they don't react. None of the investigators react to how they did to the giggling. If they heard something, you know what I mean? Like it. I don't know. This one gets me a little bit.
On the following night, neighbors informed the police that the woman had been seen and recorded by CCTV camera entering the house.
So this is interesting because, again, she's still quote unquote missing. They have no idea where she's at. So somebody called 911 because they saw a woman in the house. Now, could this have been Chris's girlfriend? Nobody knew about the girlfriend at this point. It could have been the girlfriend, but the investigators go in the home and nobody's in the home. So one could argue that it was the girlfriend. Maybe she ran out because she got scared. Who knows? But somebody called 911 saying that they saw her. They saw, I think her name's Shannon. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But that's why the police showed up, because they were missing and they're still looking. And somebody says, she's here. I just saw her go in the house.
house of the Watts family. What is pretty unexplainable though is the fact that she apparently has never left the house afterwards. Also, the squad noticed that the lights in the garage had been turned on.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house? Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house, make yourself known!
Right after that charming introduction, the team makes their way in to investigate what was going on in this house. They split up to cover more ground. While exploring, they capture several inexplicable occurrences.
I personally do not hear a kid's voice there, so I don't know I don't hear anything there. You guys might, but I don't. But let's continue. You hear the Amanda pretty clear. It sounds like they might have enhanced the audio for you to hear it, but
10 wings,
we'll go back to
$10.
it.
At Zaxby's, the math is mathing. Zaxby's 10 for 10.
Saying it without saying it can shift everything. Coffee Run Angel.
The next we see is that
Let me rewind that since we had an interruption.
members of the squad are making their way upstairs to check for anybody in the building. Some viewers claim that they see a figure peeking out behind one of the policemen. Let me know if you see anything. Possibly the shadow of Bella. While this officer is guarding the dining area, a shadow seems to have moved quickly from the right to the left. Other viewers also state that they could see a shadow on the chair and unusual activity on the right. What's your opinion? It appears that the man also saw something, but who knows?
So that's pretty cool. Like, now, to me, that looks like a light shining, but the officer clearly thought he saw something because he points his gun's flashlight in that direction right after you say it. Did you guys see that? I'm going to rewind it. That one kind of gave me the chills a little bit. Not saying it's paranormal, but there's something there that made this officer like point his flashlight in that direction because he thought he saw something. And it's captured, on his let's see, let's go back a little bit. Let me see if I can. I might go back a little bit, but I want you guys to see it.
It appears that the man also saw something.
Ew. Right.
It appears that the man also saw something, but who knows?
Hold on. Cripes. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
It appears that the man also saw something, but who knows? Thank you so much for watching. See you all next time.
All right. So, I mean, there was a lot going on. And again, this was probably a condensed video. This, I don't think, all the things that were captured were happening like that. Hey, Doug. Let's see. I'm sorry, I missed some comments here. We can hear you good. The whispering sound. Yeah, it was crazy yes, that is crazy to hear the whispering voice. It really is like, I mean, it's actually like some really good audio, but I'm so shocked that there's so much audio in one place. Again, I don't know how the timing occurs with this. Like, I don't know how far apart each of these occurrences are, but when they're in the garage, I mean, all that stuff is happening while they're in the garage, but they were searching for clues. So I don't know how long they were in the garage. There's just, to me, that's a lot. There's a lot of alleged EVPs for one place, but Doug says, proves we need decent recording devices and not DR60s. Correct. Yeah. Give me one of those mics that the cops use, because that seems to be like where it's at. Doug, this seems more interesting than the regular top 5. Yeah, please go look at that guy's video. Not on here, but go check that guy's video out. Because it was one of the more interesting videos that I saw that covered the paranormal stuff surrounding, the true crime aspect of it. Again, this was all before they even knew, he's reporting them as missing when he knew what he did. I mean, they were already unalived and, out. It was terrible what this man did, but so to me, like, I mean, I don't know. It's one of the more, I'm teetering more on the believable side of some of them, more than I am the Mackenzie Shirilla EVP that was captured. For some reason, I didn't, I mean, if you watched me and Stevie's show that we did 2 weeks ago about it, to me, Mackenzie Shirilla is much like, she's very social media driven. She like wants attention. She like, and for her to, try to play on that a little bit, kind of makes me feel like, yeah, okay, and it doesn't sit right with me. One thing though with this is Chris Watts isn't sitting in jail saying, the devil made him do it or a spirit made him do it, and he's trying to make money off of, the crimes he's committed, or, and nobody really in the paranormal field is trying to, I mean, obviously this guy did a video about it, but I have seen this footage on multiple platforms and channels. I feel like he captured it. 11 minutes, he did it well. And he just kind of pointed out the biggest points. I find it fascinating. And I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts about it? It's pretty interesting to me, to say the least. Let me see, maybe I can link the video here. Let me see, share. Let me copy the link to his video, and I will put the link in the chat. And that way you guys can check it out when you can, if you want to go watch it yourself or watch some of his other content. But that was the one that I found to be the most interesting video that just kind of like really got to the point of it. I also find it interesting that somebody saw, yeah, the moan was weird, and nobody heard it. Like I said, when they heard that laugh, they both reacted, and the dog went right into the area where the laugh came from. So the dog went into where these are dogs that are trained to, you give them something, they sniff it, an article of clothing, something that one of the missing people have worn, or and they track that, and they even make a comment about how the dog went right in there, after they heard. So they were thinking it was a little weird, and I feel like the moan was a little weird. However, nobody else heard that. So they were listening, you know what I mean? They were paying attention to the sounds around them. So I thought that was interesting as well. But I definitely, I think I need to get me a police recorder, whatever they have on their body cam, because that sounds like it's pretty good. So that I wanted to share that. I thought that the Chris Watts paranormal video was interesting to share with everybody. Another thing I wanted to talk about was, and forgive me for looking down, but I had to, like I said, I don't think I can Google. Let me see if I can Google. Give me 1 second. Bookmarks. Here we go. British. These are, nope. Oh. Bookmarks. This is really bad. All right. So I was thinking about reading some articles to you guys, but I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of want to share what I was talking about. It is interesting. Okay, so Doug says, it is interesting the Newkirks have theorized that poor quality mics are better for getting EVPs. Like it's easier for whatever to manipulate the tiny unshielded magnetic fields. Yeah, listen, I get my recorders range anywhere from $20 to $60. I don't spend a lot of money on my recorders. I have probably 5, 6, or 7 of them. I love an Olympus and I love a Sony. And those two recorders, like I said, those two brands I love. I know that there are more high-tech recorders out there that people use and stuff, and to each his own. But I happen to find that, the recorders that I'm using are really just as good. I can't do the spirit boxes because sometimes I can hear, like they heard the giggle, and you go back and you listen and you hear what I hear on the recorder, which I love. So I feel like the spirit boxes kind of ruin that. Plus I don't believe in them. I'm sorry. No disrespect to anybody that uses them, to each his own. It's just not my thing. I have ADHD, the whole noise, and I like to listen. I like to listen to the environment. I like to listen to what's going on, and I like to know, like, if we hear a noise or we hear something, I like to be able to listen for where it's coming from and go and investigate if there's a reason for it. And I feel like these spirit boxes are just so interrupting of all that. And again, I don't really believe them. Too many people that try to exploit the paranormal, use them, just for the money, like Hope Paranormal, for example. Just my opinion. It's just, I can't get into it. But there's, I was going to share I was going to do, let me see if I can find this one. Hold on. I feel like Florio right now, when she's on her lives and she starts to Google stuff. Here is something I did share on I did share this because I thought, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. So I'm gonna I'm gonna share this with you guys in case you haven't seen it. We're gonna watch it together. Yes, and Huff Paranormal. Thank you, Doug. Ugh, horrible, horrible people. Anybody I talk about, please don't go and show hate or anything like that. I'm just giving my opinion. So let me share my screen again. I did share this on my Facebook page, but we're gonna watch it here because it's really, I don't even know how to explain it. You could just watch it. So apparently this guy claims he has a Bigfoot. What bothers me about this is that the people that are, reporting on this, one, didn't interview the lab. He claims that he sent specimens out to a lab. He doesn't interview. I feel like he quickly says something about him selling organs. Like, it's just, he looks like he believes his story, but I don't know. I mean, I did share this on my personal page. I didn't get too much traction in it. But let me know what you guys think about this. So let's.
If you want my 2 cents, we got options.
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
Here's my 2 cents. I'm planning for the future.
I'm not tech savvy.
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
All right, so you'd think by now we could definitively prove whether Bigfoot once existed, is still roaming, or is just folklore. Charles Stewart, a.k.a. Snake the Bigfoot Hunter, says he has proof that the hairy creature was or might still be among us. He's also the author of the Bigfoot Bible, and he joins us now. All right, Charles, so you claim to have found a decomposing 8-foot, 300-pound Bigfoot in the Adirondack Mountains in New York. You've even christened him Dak. Tell us what you found and, how you came across this.
Yeah, we have that body that you're seeing right there on your screen. That is 8 foot long, 300 pounds, found just west of Old Forge, Central Adirondack Park. Okay, and this thing was laying in a bed of poison ivy and was, they naturally smell, but this was a horrible smell with a little bit of decay happening. And so I was able to extract that body with help from a few friends of mine and was able to get it taxidermied. And we were able to salvage some of the internal organs, which will be on display at the next showing. And we were also able to...
Sorry, he says salvage, not sell. I thought he said salvage. I do think that somebody had commented on my post saying that something with the taxidermy, like you only, like there's like a certain process with taxidermy. I would never know this because I would never do it. But there's like timing with taxidermy that, like, I don't know. Let me just continue.
To get some of that DNA we needed to provide to the Cornell Veterinarian BioDNA Lab. And that was an amazing process and a miracle that we were able to get that report back. And in that report, it shows that this Bigfoot that we found is 58.5% Neanderthal and 41.5% human. And It even has some indigenous human DNA in there. So at some point, this has crossed the Bering Land Strait. And so what we're dealing with is honestly groundbreaking.
So was there ever an autopsy?
Okay, when you find a Bigfoot body decaying, the process of who you trust and who you talk to is a pretty quick one. And the reason we
Okay, I just want to say that nobody I know of in my lifetime has ever found a Bigfoot body. So the fact that he's like, okay, when you find a Bigfoot body, this is going on to bizarre headlines, like bizarre news, or bizarre newspapers and bizarre news stuff. So to me, this is like, I don't even know how this made it on the news, but it did. But just like I didn't know how the leprechaun in Mobile, Alabama made it on the news. But here we go.
We actually have this body, I believe, and I have been able to show it, is that we did not disclose this until we were able to get in front of a lot of people. We were afraid that that body would disappear, or that I would disappear, to be honest with you. So once it was out there publicly and loudly at the State Fair last year, I was able to get the Japanese documentary to come and film this. I was able to get verification from the Six Nation Indian Tribes of New York. And we had that full DNA report backing this up. So right now we're literally firing on all cylinders with this thing. And that's how we're with you right now, because we have so many verifications.
So it's funny, everyone in the studio just moved up to the monitor to take a look at that, because that's, people are curious about this thing. And obviously it looks like something we haven't seen. But obviously there's a ton of skeptics out there, right? So you put this corpse at the New York State Fair. You say about 60,000 people viewed it, went by it. I mean, I would have done that too. But there are a lot of people who say, BS, this Sasquatch doesn't exist. I don't know what that is, but it's not a Bigfoot. Obviously they call you a fraud. So how do you answer them?
Those people are idiots. A lot of them are flapping their lips from behind a computer screen. They never actually go into the woods or been face to face with anything resembling that. And trust me when I say that I was shocked by this thing myself. Okay, it's been a slow process of evolving with me in my mind and discovery with this specimen. Okay, so I understand if people are skeptical at first, but those 60,000 people who saw this in person, they left that area completely changed. And there's people who had verified experiences go in and see that body and came out crying. Okay, this is something that I feel like a lot of the skeptics, they need to come in and see it in person to kind of come out with that new, greater understanding.
So every state except Hawaii, I guess it can't swim, but every state has had reports of Sasquatch sightings, some many more than others. Ohio has been a hot spot lately. So if it's true, we're not talking about one Bigfoot, we're talking about a whole species out there, I guess, right?
Yes, so even with my specimen, next to where my body was, there was larger footprints, Rob. And after talking to a couple people who are experts, they also think that my specimen got in an altercation with another Bigfoot up in Adirondack Park. That is why he is deceased. This is only an 18 to 20-year-old male Bigfoot specimen at 8 feet, 300 pounds. So it would be unnatural for him to be dead at that age. So our theory is that he was trying to approach a larger, more dominant female. He was at this age in his life where he wanted to procreate, and that female Bigfoot was not having it. So there was an altercation there, and these things are violent. This is not Harry and the Hendersons. This is not some Hollywood movie. I swear to you, Rob, like, these people out there think that this is something to mess around with or joke around with. This is serious stuff, and these things can kill. These things are very violent. This is 58.5. The greater percentage of this creature is essentially like a caveman. So they are very intuitive. They're very reactionary. They are nomadic. They do not mate to form family units. They are not your friends. There are very few of them. And this is just like the good Dr. Jane Goodall said. She said, if Bigfoot was out there, it would be a remnant Neanderthal, and that's exactly what we got.
So I'm very interested, as a lot of people are. I'm a little bit of a doubting Thomas. I wish I saw that at the Syracuse, State Fair. But I think it's so interesting, and
Wait, where was Kenny Biddle when this was happening? Kenny Biddle could have went and probably really made this dude mad. Okay, hold on.
I think a lot of people are interested in it. Charles Stewart, a.k.a. Snake the Bigfoot Hunter, I appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you, Rob.
Snake. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing, but no, I am. Snake the Bigfoot Hunter. That to me, I don't believe it at all. I mean, I don't know what to even say about that. This was a recent newscast, and yeah, it was very I don't know. I can't believe it. And language doctor, you are totally correct. I think this is the first and only Bigfoot body anyone has found, in quotes. It's I mean, come on. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. I honestly I don't believe it. I think it's total BS. And how this man got airtime is beyond me. I mean, if you're going to like report on something, do your research, people. I mean, I don't know how many times we can say this over and over and over and over and over again. If you are a journalist or you are somebody that reports stuff, I mean, they didn't interview the lab. They didn't go down there and check it out themselves. Like, they just kind of, just took this guy's word for it and gave him some airtime. I think, I do remember that, Doug. Doug says there was one before it turned out to be a gorilla costume in a freezer. That's true. I have one more. To share. Again, this is bizarre, but again, it was, I brought it up earlier. Let me get it. What are we doing here? Oh, crap. New search. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Lepbrook. I'm sure a lot of people have probably seen this. But it's probably one of my most favorite news broadcasts that has ever. So let me share screen. And it's one of my favorite. It literally, I watch it. Okay, language arts. I agree. It smells like BS to me. Yeah. I watch it periodically just to get some giggles out of it, because this is totally not true. And how this got on the news is beyond me as well. So hold on. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Let's share this bad boy. Can you guys see this okay? Maximize. Okay. Let me minimize it so you can see the whole thing. All right. Here we go. Why is this? All right. Let me click on this.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the...
Well, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bring binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations.
I'm just gonna back it up for a second. This sketch gets me every time. This sketch gets me every time. It gets me every time.
Hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
We're going to get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, it's still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm gonna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold at. I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
This is Brian Johnson, NBC 15 News.
People will do anything for a pot of gold. I mean, anything.
You know what I like? I like the amateur sketch of the leprechaun.
Yeah,
it looks like somebody got a really good look at it and got that good drawing out
Who
there.
did that? I want to know who sketched
I
that.
don't know. Maybe Brian sketched it.
Doodling.
That was a good story.
Well, just in time.
How is that a good story? I mean, it's fun, but I can't take it. So, I mean, yeah, it's. I choose to live in I believe this. I choose to live in whimsy. Okay, I mean, to each his own. Joan, I still love you. I still love you. You can believe in the leprechaun. They do it every year, so you go down and try to find the leprechaun. It was the best story. I know. It really is. I watch that periodically just to, like I said, just to like get a laugh out because it just really is funny. I mean, there was one guy in there that if I were to go on an investigation, I'd want him to come with me because he said, "Oh, I think it's the way the lights are hitting the tree and it's the reflection from the tree." Like that. I mean, he went into it. I was like, okay, he's the smartest person. Oh my gosh. What a good story that was. So that's kind of like, I wanted to talk about, a couple of the true crime stuff with the paranormal. I wanted to get a little bit off my chest with the, recent happenings, with people getting upset with me on Facebook because I expressed my feelings about Arnie Johnson headlining a paranormal event. That's my opinion. It's not going to change. You could be mad all you want. I'm sorry. Not sorry. And also, to go over a couple of news broadcasts because, a lot of people are like, well, it's on the news. It must be true. No. Haven't we learned anything lately, especially in the last 8 years? The news reports what they want to report. We can't really trust the news anymore. So I do think that the Bigfoot thing is a farce, and I also 100%. I'm sorry, Joan. I will travel to Mobile, Alabama with you if you want to try to meet your leprechaun. But I don't believe in it. But I fully support you. Oh. I'm mad that he is a headliner, not at you. Oh yeah, no. I mean, the event hosts are mad at me. Like I literally got I got like private messaged by the wife, and she threatened me at first, and then she was trying to say she wasn't threatening me, and it was just this big thing. I mean, if you're gonna be in the public eye like that, you have to, expect that there's gonna be criticism, and she kept on talking to me like, I was they kept on saying I was having a meltdown and I was crashing out, or you're talking to me like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Go get some sleep. Like, are you okay?" Like talking to me like that, and you know, I'm sorry. I think it's terrible. You can't sit here and say that content creators on Facebook are using certain stories to make money when you yourself are having certain people to your event that you're bringing to your event to make money. You can't accuse people of doing that when you're doing something worse by headlining a convicted murderer, just because the Warrens tried to say he was possessed. The second that the judge ruled that out of the box, it stopped being paranormal. The paranormal connection has stopped. Let's just put that out there. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it. Yes, I agree. Leprechaun hunting sounds fun though. Even in one doesn't necessarily believe, yeah, I'll go on a leprechaun hunt. I'll go on a Bigfoot hunt. I'll go on. I would literally hunt any. Well, when I say that hunt, I don't mean animals or anything, but I would go and, I would search for things. I'll put it that way. I even want to go try to find Jimothy. If you guys saw that, the raccoon, how cute is he? Joan says, yeah, I would have a meltdown too if I was buying tickets to see a murderer talk nonsense. I know it's okay. Like, what can he say? I mean, in one sense, he says that he wasn't exercised. Another time he says that he was exercised over the phone. Like, it's crazy. The guy all he is a convicted murderer. And like that's, I'm sorry. The paranormal should not be showcasing anybody like that at all. And that's my opinion. So, and I don't care I don't care what they think about me because I feel that way. Doug says American Gods showed us leprechauns were actually tall. Interesting. I always thought they were a little short. So let me see if I know I said I wanted to share some articles. So let me see if I can share one thing here that so this I'm getting this from Esquire magazine, and one of the stories in here, let's see if I can find a good one. Let's see. It's really hard because some of the places that they're talking about in here I know and wouldn't promote. So let's see. Let's pick the Enfield Monster. Okay. Over the phone exorcisms are not a thing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's literally impossible. Joan, Ladies Fright, if he truly was, don't you think the Catholic guilt would be strong enough to make him never want to make a dime on that story? Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, how he knows what he did. He knows he wasn't possessed. He knows. And yet the family of the man that he murdered is still, there's still family around. I mean, close family, I think, have passed, but there's still family around, and he unalived. I keep saying murder, but I don't know. I don't have a big enough channel for YouTube to care. Maybe, I don't know. But he unalived this gentleman, and now he's making money. Like, how do you sleep at night? How do you put your head on a pillow and sleep at night, knowing that your whole existence is a lie? your whole existence, like what you are doing, like in the public eye. What could he possibly be telling people at this lecture? Oh, this thing jumped out of the kid and into me, and then I killed somebody. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I think I kind of paralleled that with what you said. Let me see here. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. What about the suicide hotel? So the suicide hotel. So I said news articles that are bizarre paranormal stories that have made news articles, right? So this is it's called the Suicide Hotel. It's in Colombia. In Colombia, the Hotel del Salto. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Del Salto is how it's spelled. If you want to look it up, has more stories as one of the most haunted places on earth, more than it does actual tenants. Turned into a museum, the hotel was designed by architect Carlos Otoro Tapias back in 1923. Oh boy, there's some big words in here. Bear with me. Overlooking the Tequendama Falls. I hope I'm saying that right. The views were said to be spectacular, but guests kept getting a little too close to the falls. Translated to Hotel of the Leap. The Hotel del Salto is full of stories of people leaping to their deaths. According to local legend, the indigenous Musica tribe escaped from Spanish colonizer by leaping off the cliff some centuries before. That's all they have on that. That wasn't too much of a good article there. Let's see. There wasn't too much there. Okay. Here's one. The Haunted Doll. Don't believe in haunted dolls, just so you guys know. I really don't. When you think of haunted dolls, it's likely the creepy old Victorian looking porcelain kind that springs to mind. Yeah. None of which you probably have laying around. Never did. Still, don't get too comfortable around any kids' toys too soon, though. A Disney's Frozen Elsa doll that was gifted for Christmas in 2013 in the Houston area made headlines earlier this year when it seemingly became haunted. The doll this is new. I haven't heard this, so I'm glad I'm reading this because I didn't. So per KPRC2 Houston News. This is where this comes from. The doll recited phrases from the movie Frozen and sang Let It Go when a button on its necklace was pressed. For 2 years, it did that in English. Mother of Emily Madonia said. In 2015, it started alternating between Spanish and English. There wasn't a button that changed these. It was just random. It's a little creepy. That is a little creepy. The family has owned the doll for more than 6 years and never changed its batteries. That's also a little weird. The mother says the doll would randomly begin to speak and sing even when its switch is turned off. The family decided to throw the creepy doll out in December of 2019. Weeks later, they found it inside a bench in their living room. The kids insisted they didn't put it there, and I believe them because they wouldn't have drug through the garbage outside, Madonia told KPRC2 Houston News. At that point, Elsa ceased to sing the English rendition of Let It Go altogether, speaking only Spanish when pressed. The family then double bagged the bizarre doll and placed it at the bottom of their garbage and was taking out on garbage day. They went on a trip shortly after, but when they returned, Elsa too had come back and was waiting in the backyard of their home. This time, the family mailed Elsa to a family friend in Minnesota who taped the haunted doll to the front bumper of his truck. It doesn't seem to have made its way back to Houston yet, as per Madonia's latest February Facebook update on the creepy doll. Never heard that one. But, you know, it is hearsay from a family. Maybe they're just trying to get, again, stories like this. Could it be that they want money, they want attention, you know, whatever. That may have been the chip, though. Like other languages, okay. One more. We have time for one more, right? Are you guys interested still? So this is called a deadly exorcism. As the BBC reported. So this is from the BBC. In August 2016 in North London, 26-year-old Kennedy Ife, I-F-E, Ife, I think I'm saying that right, but I'll spell it for you just in case, began acting strange and aggressive following a pain in his throat. He reportedly bit his father, threatened to cut off his own penis, and complained of a python or snake inside of him before his family restrained him to a bed with cable ties and excessive force. The family then set about attempting to cure Kennedy through restraint and prayer over the next 3 days, the court was told. His brother Colin Ife told police, and told is in bold letters, so I'm assuming, you know, they're just trying to say, like, look, this is stuff that was told. But his brother Colin Ife told police, it's clear that thing was in him. What we believed was a demon because it was not natural. It was clearly trying to kill him, he said. We had to restrain him for himself. It was clear if we didn't restrain him, he could have tried to harm people in our family. Kennedy Ife had been bound to his bed for 3 days without medical attention when his brother called emergency services explaining that Kennedy Ife was complaining of dehydration. He appeared to have developed breathing issues and was pronounced dead at 10:17 a.m. Wow, 3 days? While police were at the house, Colin Ife allegedly carried out an attempted resurrection by chanting and praying for Mr. Ife. All 7 of Kennedy Ife's family members were accused of manslaughter, false imprisonment, and causing or allowing the death of a vulnerable adult. A post-mortem examination revealed over 60 wounds, including a possible bite on Kennedy Ife's body, and his father, Kenneth Ife, along with 4 of his brothers, sustained injuries as well. Kenneth Ife told jurors he ordered his sons to take shifts and use overwhelming force, but denied that an association with cults, occults, and secret societies played any part in the death. After a 4-day jury deliberation, all 7 family members were cleared of charges on March 14th, 2019. Now, that's interesting. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And that's really interesting. So if you guys want to look more into that, this was again in North London. The whole family was not accused of anything. Yeah, they were cleared. So that's interesting. But this was in North London, and the boys, or the man's name was Kennedy, like John F. Kennedy, Kennedy Ife, I-F-E. And this was in 2016. That is crazy. So language doc, oh my OMFJ. They thought they were helping him, but they were actually unaliving him. People are so dumb sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. They were cleared. They were all dismissed, which is crazy. And actually is a better, I mean, like if Arnie Johnson was cleared, after something, like it's almost like they kind of like, it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know what words I'm trying to look for here, but I think Arnie would have more of a relevant story if he was cleared after going to court and this and that and was let off, and they were like, okay. Let's see. That was really interesting. Let's see. Sorry, let me just say. Let me do one more. Oh, we already know about Elisa Lam. Everybody knows the Elisa Lam story. So we've already. Everybody knows that one. Let's see. Trying to look for. Let's see. Okay. Here. All right. So we'll do one more. Sorry. All right. So this one, I'm just going to read this one and then I'll let everybody go. If you're up for this, one more story. That's crazy that they were cleared. I'm still like baffled. Anyway, this one is called The Phone Stalker, and ABC News did this. So this is from ABC News. In 2007, ABC News documented a series of cell phone calls to families with terrifying specific death threats. The unidentified callers knew exactly what the families were doing and and what they were wearing. I don't like that. The families say the calls come in at all hours of the night, threatening to unalive their children, their pets, their grandparents. Voicemails arrive, playing recordings of their private conversations, including one with a local police detective. The caller knows the family said what they were wearing and what they were doing. After months of investigating, police seemed powerless to stop them. This went on with the Kukinol. I will spell that. So if you want to look this up, that's the family's last name. K-U, where'd it go? Oh. K-U-Y-K-E-N as in Nick, A-L-L. The Kukinol family for months, who reported a caller with a scratchy voice threatening to slit their throats. When the Fircrest, Washington police tried to find the culprit, the calls were traced back to the Kuykendall's own phones, even when they were turned off. It got worse. The Kuykendalls, now they're saying Kuykendalls. Now there's a D in there. So now it's K-U-Y Kuykendalls. So K-U-Y-K-E-N-D-A-L-L-S. So it got worse. The Kuykendalls and two other Fircrest families told ABC News that they believe the callers are using their cell phones to spy on them. They say the hackers know their every move, where they are, what they're doing, and what they're wearing. The callers have recorded private conversations, the families and police said, including a meeting with a local detective. That's weird and a little unnerving. Doug says, yes, Elisa Lamb was off her meds and there may have been foul play, but that didn't stop Ghost Adventures from investigating the Hotel Cecilia. Right. Yeah. No, I believe that there was some sort of foul play, but I do believe that like all the stuff that was happening in the elevator and this and that, I think that that was totally, I think that was her not in the right headspace. I agree with you there, for sure. Don't want to know about let's see. I don't think we want to know about that stuff. Okay. Let me see. There was another I keep saying one more because some of these are really good. 13 time but true, reported in the news. Let's see. Oh, this looks like the same thing. The Axe Murder House is on here. We're going to skip that. But yeah. Okay. We'll do one more and then I'll let you guys go. Sorry. So this is, I don't know if I want to read this one, but I'm going to read it anyway. I'm a huge animal lover, and even like the thought of animals suffering, dying, whatever, it just upsets me. But anyway, it's called Dead Animals in the Walls. And it was Fox reported on this. So this is an article by Fox. When the this is really hard for me. Sorry. I'll spell it. It's B as in boy, Retzuis. Bretzuis family. The last name is Bretzuis. So if you want to look this up, family decided to insulate their home in Auburn, Pennsylvania in 2015. They discovered that it had already been with scores of dead animal carcasses. The dead animals were wrapped in newspapers from the 1930s and 40s and were among half-used spices and other items. That's weird. After removing the items, they sent hundreds of artifacts and carcasses to an expert in Kutztown. The expert attributed the rotting animals in their walls to powwow or Dutch magic, a ritual originating in the culture of the Pennsylvania Dutch to treat ailments and gain physical and spiritual protection. The Pennsylvania Dutch were a group of Pennsylvania Dutch. I have some Pennsylvania Dutch in me. The Pennsylvania Dutch were a group of German-speaking settlers to Pennsylvania in the 1600s and the 1700s. So I'm actually a daughter of the American Revolution. My sixth great-grandfather came here from Germany and settled in Pennsylvania. So my sixth great-grandfather and my fifth great-grandfather were in the Revolutionary War. I think that's how that went. My sixth great-grandfather, or maybe my great uncle and my great uncle. I have to go back and double check that. So they were in the American Revolution. So anyway, the culture of the Pennsylvania Dutch to treat ailments and gain physical and spiritual protection. The Pennsylvania Dutch were a group of German-speaking settlers to the Pennsylvania in the 1600s and 1700s and are often of Lutheran, Mennonite, or Amish faiths. The Washington Post notes on the magic. Many of the spells deal with the care of livestock, finding water, or the treatment of minor ailments, reflecting conditions and concerns of early American settlers. But powwow also has within it a tradition of darker spells and even of such things as conjuring demons. So, Doug, you know about powwow? I've never heard of it. I'm learning something tonight. I love that. One notable ritual in their tradition is this hex to create loyalty in a dog. To attach a dog to a person, provided nothing else was used before to effect it. Try to draw some of your blood and let the dog eat it along with his food, and he will stay with you. So they almost did like bloodletting maybe on the food. I would think that would, you giving the taste of blood to an animal, like, then they want that taste. I don't think that would be very smart, but okay, just my opinion. The mold found on the rotting carcasses at the Bretzuis home has caused illness among the family members, and they say that the odor hasn't gone away. Why? And they still live there. I would have to move. I would have to move. Doug says the podcast Strange Familiars brings it up sometimes. Well, there we have it. We kind of covered a lot. Like I covered some mini drama shit, and then we watched the Chris Watts video, which I love. I love that video. It intrigues me. It's, again, I'm not saying it's paranormal, but it is a definitely interesting video. And then we read some articles that, I've learned a lot here tonight. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. Next week, I will have a guest, so it won't be just me. Thank God. Adam Kimmel will be coming on to share some awesome stories. He, I believe, owns the Madison Seminary and a few other locations, and he also films with a crew. And they, so we'll be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. He's going to be investigating a few locations, and he gets home Tuesday. So he said he's ready to talk about all this stuff and go into some deep dives. So it should be a good show. So I'm hoping you guys join me again next week. Again, I probably will go live at the bash if I can. I'll walk around and show everybody. Maybe I'll do a Gettysburg day tripping through Gettysburg, where I just drive through the park and bring you guys with me. I haven't done that in a while. So I should be live a couple of times throughout the weekend. And again, I will be here Wednesday, 8:35 p.m. next week with a guest, Adam Kimmel. But until next time, everybody, sweet dreams. Thank you guys all for being here. Love you all.